At this moment, Xiao chats with an online friend. Lao Qi curiously walks over to see her big news. Surprised, the man asks Lao Qi about prison life, then hung up. Puzzled, Lao Qi asked Xiao who he was, but she didn't know either. Xiao said it was just an online friend. Lao Qi, feeling betrayed, spun around and stormed off, thinking he and Xiao were just not meant to be. Noticing that Xiao's notebook was missing a page, leaving only a time-so-cute character, Lao Qi followed the delivery guy back to where he was imprisoned. What a wild trip down memory lane. When the guard upstairs turned, Lao Qi stood behind, holding the wolf's head like a hunter. The man in the surveillance room still read casually. At this moment, the man in the surveillance room heard the noise outside and found himself tied to a chair in no time. Unbelievable. Lao Qi calmly pulled out his professional recording bag while a throng of burly men had already packed the doorway. After efficiently dispatching them with ease, a fresh wave of eager challenges emerged within the elevator. When the elevator opened, the men fell out like human punching bags. As Lao Qi stumbled out, he fainted on the ground, and a kind stranger helped him into a car. The good Samaritan paid for Lao Qi's ride, and just as he began to thank him, the guy pulled a real comeback king move. When Lao Qi came to, he found himself back in Xiao's room. He quickly pulled out a mysterious letter claiming, "I'm right here." When he woke up again, he found himself back in Xiao. Then he began listening to the recording bag, unaware that his life after this was quietly being documented. It turned out he had been too foolish in the past, but he had no memory of it. The next day, Lao Qi went to the internet cafe to find his old buddy. Lao Qi played the recording and asked Taiju, who said he hadn't heard it. Issues with Lao Qi's love story? Lao Qi searched for Xiao's friend and got a message from Lao Yuzhen screaming help. Lao Yuzhen said the punched person wouldn't pursue Lao Qi. Lao Qi rushed back to ask Xiao who Lao Yuzhen was. As he and Xiao locked eyes, Taiju had already tracked Lao Yuzhen's location to the building across the street. Hearing the news, Lao Qi rushed to the opposite room, which was in a mess. Two men were waiting, including Lao Yuzhen. Lao Yuzhen smirked. "This is just a game." She challenged Lao Qi, 7 days, see if you can find out who you are. He also urged Lao Qi, leaving him only 5 days. Upon hearing this, Lao Qi was furious and planned to confront Lao Yuzhen. Just as Lao Qi was about to strike, the white-haired guy stopped him, and Lao Yuzhen calmly told Lao Qi he wouldn't off him. However, Lao Yuzhen began to play mind games, asking Lao Qi whether he wanted revenge or the truth. Talk about raising the stakes. Lao Qi turned to grab a hammer, trying to pressure Lao Yuzhen into revealing the reason, but Lao Yuzhen just shrugged it off. With a straight face, Lao Yuzhen declared that he had heart problems, showing off a remote control in his chest, saying he could off himself anytime. Lao Qi could barely hold in his laughter as Lao Yuzhen's words got more and more outrageous. Lao Yuzhen questioned Lao Qi whether he sought revenge or truth, igniting Lao Qi's inner fury. He then turned and left with his goons, leaving Lao Qi to stew in his frustration. Lao Yuzhen turned back and suggested Lao Qi head back to check on Xiao. She might have company. Hearing this, Lao Qi rushed back to Xiao's place, only to find that she had been abducted by the very guy sent before. With no other option, Lao Qi surrendered, while the tooth-pulling Lao Deng tried to pry open his mouth. Just as they were about to yank Lao Qi's teeth, Lao Yuzhen's phone rang, and the white-haired guy quickly opened the door, offering Lao Deng a cut of the profit. The men decided to scare Lao Qi a bit, and before leaving, they gave him a solid smack. Lao Qi vowed to get revenge, and after everyone left, he decided to escape with Xiao. They quickly needed to leave the place, with Xiao bravely expressing her love for Lao Qi in the car. Lao Qi immediately pulled Xiao to a hotel, finally connecting the story together. However, after their peaceful moment, familiar smoke filled the room, leaving them at Lao Yuzhen's mercy. Upon waking, survivors found a gift box with Lao Deng's severed hand. A shocking surprise. Lao Qi realized there might be a tracker on him, so he headed to the mall security for help. After some searching, they actually found a tiny electronic board hidden in his shoe. He then took Xiao to Taiju's internet cafe for further. When Xiao mentioned the Evergreen Lifeguard Association, Lao Qi and Taiju's eyes lit up. That was their alma mater. Xiao asked the staff if they could see the 1979 class records. The two flipped through the yearbook and found Lao Yuzhen and his classmates. Lao Qi called Taiju to see if he recognized Lao Yuzhen's classmates, only to learn that Qiu had already passed away. Taiju started trash-talking about the woman, calling her a temptress, as her shady history was nothing short of prophetic. Lao Yuzhen grinned, wishing to join the school debate team. As Taju's insults grew louder, she sat across from him, listening intently. In that instant, Lao Yuzhen snapped like a wild beast, completely losing it. He shattered a disc and lunged at Taiju, ready to strike. "You want to see me," he said through the headset in a low voice. Lao Qi, burning with rage, sped off to find Lao Yuzhen, clueless about his whereabouts still remaining a mystery. At Lao Deng's dental clinic, he asked for the number, unaware of the impending trouble. Lao Deng informed Lao Qi that the enemy of his enemy is his friend and vowed to help him search for Lao Yuzhen. Lao Qi was blindfolded and led out by Lao Deng, thinking to himself, "I'm really out of options here." He arrived at a classmate of Kirihiro to inquire about the situation, but when he asked about Kirihira's old boyfriend, he was told they had